Hey, Alan Phil, I'm back again. Thought I would tell you this because I know you love it. Many, many years ago, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I was an altar boy. And I know that's really hard to believe, but it's true, right? Now, there were two reasons why I was an altar boy. And unfortunately, none of them had anything to do with spirituality. So the first reason was, it meant that I could get out of school. Because funerals, for some reason, in our parish used to happen on a Wednesday. So it meant that I could get out of school. You would get the big call on the back phone, and then we'd have to run up to, to the church and get the gear on and get ready for the funeral, right? So that was good. And the second reason I was an altar boy is when you did a wedding or a funeral, you used to get a little bit of a backhander. So there was money in this game, I thought, So one day we were doing this funeral. And as part of the funeral, for the Catholic religion anyway, they've got this kind of, looks like a sort of steel ball on a chain, and you fill it with incense, and you sort of swing it around and all the smoke comes out, and it's called a thurible, I think, if memory serves me right. And it was my job and my brother's job to do the sort of thurible for this particular funeral. Now, I was 9 years old, and I was a bit of a practical joker. And Mark hadn't really done this before, setting it up. Now, normally, when you set this thing up, you'd have a piece of charcoal about the size of a 50-cent piece, something like that. And then you would have, it looks like brown sugar, so sort of half a teaspoon of brown sugar. And that's enough to get a little bit of smoke going. So I told Mark that what we needed to do is get about 10 pieces of charcoal. So we stuffed 10 pieces of charcoal into this, and then we got this incense, this brown sugar, and instead of half a teaspoon, I just kept throwing it on. And he kept saying to me, "Is this right?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, absolutely, just trust me, this is right." So anyway, we put it on. I said, "Look, you take it out, and I'll walk behind you." So, we have to walk off during the sort of the Mass, and the coffin's there just in front, just down from the altar. Anyway, so we do this, right? And Mark walks out in front of me, and literally, because nothing's happening, I've lit all these charcoals, but nothing's happening, I'm very disappointed. But literally, as we walk around to the side of the altar, coming out towards the front, he's swinging it backwards and forwards, and he's looking where he's going. He has no idea that this thing is pumping out smoke like a dry ice machine at an AC/DC concert. It is literally rising up to his waist. So he walks around to the front. He stands next to the priest, whose name I can't reveal, who is a lovely guy. And he's standing there. He isn't noticing what's going on. It's just me. And I'm standing next to the two of them. And I'm crying laughing because I can see this smoke. It's just billowing everywhere. So the priest grabs the thurible thing. He goes to the front of the coffin. And he swings it left and right, makes a sign of the cross, and then he walks down the side of the coffin, and then that's the last we saw of him for about half an hour. Because in the process of doing that, this enormous cloud of smoke just appeared like a fog bank. And the next thing, all I could hear was this banging and clappering, and some very unreligious language coming from the bottom of the coffin, where Father, I nearly said his name there, where the priest was swinging this thing, and there's smoke on everywhere. And my last abiding memory, I'm at the front crying. The family are at the front thinking I'm an emotional kid because I'm crying about their dead grandmother or something like that. But it's just the smoke is getting higher and higher. And in the back, one of the professional coffin guys, the pallbearers, he is standing at the back. He's got hold of one of the columns in the church, and he is literally weak with laughter as the smoke arises. It's absolutely true. Anyway, the priest ends up, gets the coffin back out. Everybody finishes Mass. A few of the people are really unhappy about how it's gone. And we walk around the back, and the priest grabs hold of me and Mark, and "What the heck was that all about, you crazy little idiots? How the hell did you get bloody blah, blah?" And I kept pointing at Mark going, "It was him! It was him! It wasn't me!" And Mark was pointing at me going, "It was him! It was him!" It was unbelievable. I have never laughed so much in my life, seriously. And I used to do that stuff all the time. So, you're probably wondering, what's this got to do with internet marketing? Well, here's the thing. Many times in my career over the last 3.5 years, and certainly with Dion as well, who we built the online marketing toolbox with, we get really frustrated when we hear from business owners who say things like, "I've spent $2,000 a month on a Google AdWords campaign and I haven't made a dime. Or I've spent $20,000 on a website and it hasn't made me any cash. I had one guy who told me he'd invested $100,000 on his online strategy and hadn't made a bean. A bean, not a dollar. And it breaks my heart, because the truth of the matter is that every single one of those people felt embarrassed or ashamed or felt they'd been taken advantage of. Now, the reason I told you that story is because I kept telling Mark I knew what I was doing. And he believed me. And it was a disaster. And the truth of the matter is, for a lot of business owners, they don't understand this stuff. And so they put their hands, in the trust of someone else, and then they get their fingers burned. And it's really frustrating. And we understand that. So the reason why 3.5 years ago, when I spent a whole bunch of cash and didn't get anywhere, that I started at point A and learned every single element myself, all the way through to point Z in terms of the online stuff. And then I applied over 18 years of sales and marketing experience to what I was doing online. That's when things started to work. So it's really important for you as a business owner that you build a good team around you, that you have people that you trust around you, or more importantly than anything else, and I know you're busy, you at least build some foundational skills so you understand the game you're in. Because if you don't know the rules, you're going to get killed. Okay? If you don't know the rules, you are going to get killed. And our job is to at least give you the rule book. Okay? At least give you the skills. At least give you the tools that you need to get online successfully and build that list of customers. Okay? And that's the whole purpose of the Online Marketing Toolbox for local businesses, so that you have the skills to build a website from scratch. Okay? Have it full of keywords. Okay? Have some basic search engine optimization built into it. And then have a traffic strategy as well to drive traffic to that website. That's why it's powerful. So it's not just a website and it's not just a traffic strategy. It's both. Plus we show you some tips and hints about how to get that website to convert so you build a database. It's really that simple. So I hope you enjoyed that story. I might share a couple more with you on the Altar Boy side, because I was a bit of a, I don't know, in fact I'm not sure how I stayed in the gig, you know what I mean? I'm amazed I didn't get kicked out. So anyway, I'll leave you with that, and by all means check out the website. It would be great to see you there. Ask us any questions you want, and we'll be more than happy to answer them, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.